Hello everyone, welcome to another video of this revision series. In this video, we'll talk about diuretics. Diuretics are the drugs that promote the excretion of sodium and water from the body by an action on kidney. And these diuretics are very common groups of drugs that are often used for prescription. And these are mainly classified into three groups: diuretics that act directly on the different segments of nephron. Number two, diuretics acting indirectly by modifying the content of urinary filtrate. These are also called osmotic diuretics and include mannitol or glycerol. And some weak diuretics that are often used for other purpose, and they include usually carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, and they are acetazolamide or dorzolamide. Diuretics that act on different segments depending upon this. First group is the acting on the thick ascending loop of Henle. They are also called loop diuretics or high ceiling diuretics. And some examples like furosemide, bumetanide, torsemide, ethacrynic acid. That act on the early part of distal tubule. They are mainly thiazides or chemically related to thiazides. Thiazides like hydrochlorothiazide, chlorothiazide, benzthiazide, clopamide or polythiazide. And chemically related like chlorthalidone, indapamide, metolazone, etc. Drugs that act on collecting tubules and duct, they are also called potassium sparing diuretics based on their action, and examples like amyloidine, triamdenine. Drugs that act on the later part of distal tubule and collecting duct, they are actually aldosterone antagonist, and spironolactone is one of the most important drug in this group. Now, very briefly, the mechanism of action and some side effects of these groups of drug. First, loop diuretics, they act on the thick ascending loop of Henle, and they inhibit sodium potassium 2Cl- co-transport in the luminal membrane of this thick ascending loop. Thereby, it causes increased sodium infiltrate, and these sodium infiltrate promote loss of potassium and H+ in the distal tubule. And also, increased excretion of calcium and magnesium is due to the increased sodium infiltrate inside the lumen, and thereby decreased uric acid. So all these are regarded as side effect, that is due to loss of potassium and H+, there is metabolic alkalosis. There is also hypercalciuria or hypomagnesemia due to increased excretion of calcium and magnesium from lumen due to increased sodium infiltrate by the action of loop diuretics. And there is also hyperuricemia for the same cause. And often this hyperuricemia may precipitate gout. The use of loop diuretics are mainly confined to various types of edema, among them congestive cardiac failure, liver cirrhosis, nephrotic syndrome are most common. These are often prescribed in hypertension along with other drugs and acute renal failure. So this is all about loop diuretics. Next, thiazides, they inhibit sodium chloride transport on early part of the distal tubule, and as a result, increased sodium concentration in the filtrate promote potassium loss from the distal tubule as like loop diuretics, and also they promote calcium reabsorption. This is just contradicted to the loop diuretics. They promote calcium reabsorption by enhancing sodium calcium exchanger. Thereby, the side effects may be hypokalemia, metabolic alkalosis, hypercalcemia, and hyperuricemia. As like hyperuricemia is like loop diuretics, but hypercalcemia is contradicted with loop diuretics. And their use is also confined to the edematous condition and also in diabetes insipidus. Potassium sparing diuretics, for side effects of loop diuretics or thiazides, new groups of drug are potassium sparing diuretics. They mainly blocks luminal sodium channels at the distal tubule and collecting tubule and the distal part. So they inhibit sodium reabsorption and thereby potassium excretion, and it causes hyperkalemia. In contrast with thiazides, where hypokalemia occurs, here hyperkalemia occurs. So this may be the side effect. And sometimes aldosterone antagonist, they act on the later part of the distal tubule, and spironolactone is one of them, which directly compete with the aldosterone for the receptor. And osmotic diuretic act by osmotic action, and they include mannitol or glycerol. So this is all about diuretics. This is a very brief discussion. It needs further study from any pharmacology book. Thank you guys for watching.